I say we're done.
Irregular man.
Alright. Yo, so what I'm looking at here is this is futurism.com. Title of this article is Video Game Addiction is Real, and professionals aren't prepared to help. My stars. So as long as I've been playing video games, I don't think I've never really been addicted. There's been a time where I was when I was in college, and I played games quite a bit. The only game I can even remember playing to the point where it seemed addictive was Final Fantasy VII. And everybody knows that's totally worth it, right? Best game ever. I think, more or less, the only games that that anybody played, if you're old enough. I'm not going to tell you exactly how old I am, but put it like this. The very first game I ever played was Burger Time. So, that gives you an idea. Anyway, this article kind of tells a story about this guy named Jose Antonio Hita Ruiz. Basically, he was pretty much bullied when he was in school. Kind of as an escape, he ended up playing games for like 16 hours a day. In his experience, it was like a drug. So the World Health Organization has now classified this as an actual addiction. So there's actually an online, there's an online group called Game Quitters, the self-proclaimed world's largest support community for video game addiction. So if you need your help, that's where to get it. I myself, I've never experienced like a real form of gaming addiction. I know there can be times when certain games are really hard to put down, kind of like a good book. Oftentimes I compare playing video games to reading books, because it's really like a story that especially if you're playing an RPG, it's the story that that unfolds before you, and it's often one that you participate in and you feel a part of, like you are actually in the story. A lot of first-person games are like this. I think one of the major addictive games is the online game called World of Warcraft. There are a lot of WoW players who spend probably more than 16 hours on it. Maybe they probably go for days if they could, just playing and playing and playing. I think that's the trouble with these type of things. It becomes an escape, especially if you are having so many issues in your life where you want to get away from it. Says it's the first time video game addiction has been officially recognized as a disorder, but there are still plenty of American psychologists who don't think gaming disorder has a place in any diagnostic manual. The American Psychiatric Association, or the APA, which sets the criteria for diagnosable disorders in the U.S., listed internet gaming disorder as a condition for further study in 2013. The APA wants to see further proof before it decides to make it officially a disorder by including it in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, which is the DSM. So I guess most psychologists are actually skeptical of calling this a disorder because there's just not enough evidence. I have to disagree with it. Just because video games have been around for so long, there should be plenty of evidence out there. It can be just anecdotal. I mean, there are plenty of people that could probably be studied. I think what they're basically saying is there aren't enough studies where people have basically set up control groups to see, what exactly is going on with these type of game binges or game addictions. So it's like, from what I can tell, there are people that actually believe this is a disorder and it probably should be looked at as a disorder. I would definitely say I'm less skeptical about it because I'm one of the ones that actually play games. And I know it can be a point where people find, a lot of escape in it. I would take it seriously. And if there's not enough, or if there's further study needed, then they should jump on this. Somebody might win a what's it called? Either a Pulitzer or some other type of award for writing about this. It says that there's a new trend to treat gaming addiction. Private clinics that provide patients with a way to detox for a while. Yeah, the way to detox is to take your ass outside. I mean, if your parents, and let me just say this, if parents are letting their kids play games for these absurd amounts of times, then there's got to be some type of abuse. I mean, no kid should be spending that much time playing a game. Now, if you're growing up and you're sitting around playing games like that, then you probably do need some help. Because life will pass you by. Anyway, I just wanted to shed some light on this. It just seems that in this day and age, and as prevalent as video games are, I don't see how we can't avoid something like this becoming an addiction. It would seem silly to ignore it, or to just brush it off to the side and say, okay, there's not enough evidence. If there's not enough evidence, then you need to gather it, because it's definitely something that will eventually be a problem for quite a lot of people, because video games aren't going away anytime soon. They're only going to get more complicated, and it's going to just become more of an escape. Anyway, this is the Irregular Man signing off. Y'all take it easy. If you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button. Hit subscribe, share it, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think.